South, Honorable Mohamed Adow.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I would like to thank the people of Wajir South for electing me their representative in this House. I would like to thank the hundreds of volunteers who helped me through the campaign period, who showed confidence in me and my leadership and made a reality what we were looking for. I represent Wajir South, which is the second largest constituency in this country, second only to North Hor in Marsabit. The size of Wajir South is about 23,000 square kilometers. To give you a snapshot, that is size of Nairobi, central Kenya, and western combined. And it's represented by one member of parliament. I believe that is a blot on the conscience of us Kenyans. We've been shortchanged many times. There have been boundary reviews of constituencies, and hopefully, we hope this time, justice, equity, and even-handedness will prevail. Wajir South has 4 sub-counties with only 2 fully operational. The other 2 are a work in progress. The sheer size of the constituency makes it really difficult for the delivery of service, not just from the member of parliament and other elected leaders, but also government workers and aid workers who are in the process of alleviating the biting drought afflicting my people at this time. Now, drought is a big problem right now for the people of Wajir South. Over the years, we've seen cyclical droughts that have decimated livestock and made the people really weak. And over the past 5 years, we've had the lethal mix of the COVID-19 pandemic, the locust invasion, as well as the droughts that we've seen. Last year, it was declared a national disaster. This year, again, we are talking of a drought, and it only is getting worse and worse by the day. This is the work of climate change, and it is here to stay with us. And it's about time we learned to adapt and live with climate change. It's a global phenomenon, not much of our own making, but we are bearing the brunt of the ruthlessness in which Western countries, industrialized countries, have dealt with our environment. But again, adapt we must, because if we don't, then we will be having even more problems. And right now, there are a lot of discussions going on in not just my constituency and the greater Wajir County, but also the other parts of the country which are afflicted by the dry spell. That pastoralism, as we have seen over the ages, is untenable. We can no longer continue to chase rainfall because it's become few and far between. What we need is to adapt and change our lifestyles so that we get to live a much better life than the one we are living right now, because every year we are seeing caravans of relief convoys taking food to the people, to the extent we've been reduced to a people dependent on the goodwill of others. We are talking about agro-pastoralism, more settled farming, as well as keeping livestock, which is a prized source of livelihood for the people of the north, where Wajir South is. We can no longer continue as our forefathers to chase the rain, even if it means crossing the borders, because there is very little rain due to the phenomenon we are facing. Now we are talking about agriculture as an alternative mainstay for our people so that they can grow their own food and fodder for their livestock. That way we will be able to keep on practicing our prized mainstay, that is pastoralism and the rearing of animals, at the same time grow our own food. This is where we are headed, and we will be seeking as much help as possible in this direction. Right now, as we speak, there are throngs of aid workers crisscrossing Wajir County. The county government has rejigged its budget and is offering relief aid to the people. We are thankful to the county governor. We are also thankful to organizations like Save the Children, the Kenya Red Cross, the United Nations Children's Fund, and the many others, including the World Vision, who are giving life-saving aid and water to the people of my constituency. There are 7 wards in my constituency, and out of those 7 wards, 3 of them are facing shortages of water. So as you can see, my work is really cut out for me, as I am representing people who are facing all those problems that I have listed. And again, Madam Speaker, we have a fantastic motion in front of us today, one that deals with provision of school meals to students. Remembering my childhood and growing up in northeastern Kenya, it actually did a big difference keeping us in schools. School meals really contributed to many of us remaining in school because of the abject poverty most of the people there were living under, and still do to this day. But again, I'm in support of this motion, yes, but we have even a more pressing problem in northeastern Kenya because of the action of the former government 2 years ago, in which, with a stroke of a pen, 5,000 teachers were recalled from the region because of insecurity. Today, almost every other school is manned by 1 teacher. In my constituency alone, we have a shortage of 300 school teachers. Some of the schools in my constituency are manned by 1 teacher. Some of them have been closed. This is quite unfair. And we are bringing up a generation, which I call the lost generation, which has been forced to go through the steps of schooling for those 2 years, but have learned nothing. We are appealing to the Teacher Service Commission, because I don't know what else to call it. This is marginalization being brought through the back door after we thought the promulgation of the new constitution in 2010 had done away with that practice which had been visited upon us by the previous regimes. What we need is a return of our teachers back to the schools so that the young Kenyans living in that part of the country can get education. We have, I thought I had 10 minutes, Madam Speaker.
Yes, and they are almost over. Just 1 minute or so.